Okay, so as I mentioned, I'd like to do some of the 3D and CGI stuff this year. So I thought I'd show you some of the tools. Now, there are three programs I'm going to show you. The first of which, this is Cinema 4D. Now, for some reason that I am not sure of, it's not showing what's actually in the screen. What I am showing you is the render, and it's supposed to be like a gray version of it, gray version of it here, back here. But for some reason, that's not showing up, and I have no idea why that is the case. So, at any rate, but you can see what it comes out. This is using the Octane renderer, and just very simple scene. I was testing some stuff with that renderer, so I just created a very simple thing. So this is the first tool, and this is, of course, 3D. You can make, you can do modeling. It has a lot of dynamics in it, and you know, where you can actually see action. Um, and you know, I put my hand on my thing, and it changed something. So anyway, this is the first tool that I'm working with this year, and again, what I like about this is it has all kinds of dynamics, and you can do modeling and all that. Now, the second, let me close this because the last time I tried it, having all three up, it didn't like it so much. No, I don't want to change anything. Okay, let me bring up the second one, which is Houdini. I'm going to bring it up, and then I'm going to put it in the screen. Houdini has some similarities, but it's node based. Remember, we look at nodes in terms of the blockchain. Well, there are nodes in 3D. Actually, the renderer that rendered that image that we were just looking at, they're textures. Textures are what you put on the object, so they have color and you know, so they look like something. Okay, so let me bring this in, and I'm gonna, come on, there we go. I am gonna bring this in right now, and let's bring this so this is Houdini, and let me bring up something you can actually that means something, because this doesn't mean anything. Let's see. Oh, I like this. So this is what I'm going to show you is an example of what the Houdini is really strong at. Let's see if it's going to come up, because it gave me some kind of warning, which is kind of weird. Okay. Let's see. I think it's an F. No, it's here that I have to hit F. I think no, that's not it. Let's see if I can bring something else up. Let me close this. Well, I'll just open another one. Another recent one. Let's see if we can do that. So, see if this comes up. There we go. So this is a bowl I modeled. So this doesn't show any dynamics. I'm going to see if I can bring up the other one. But as you can see, it's node based. Let me make sure you're seeing that. Yeah, it's node based, and this is and go in here, and you can see what I did. So I took a curve. I then resampled it to make more points, subdivided it, and then revolved it, and then extruded. Now I used an example. There's a very good course, not the cheapest, but he goes into quite some sophisticated examples after spending. It's like a 40-hour course, so it's quite extensive. And he did one with a modeling a cup. So I borrowed what he done, and I did it here. What I ended up doing is I exported this cup, and then I put it in uh, Cinema, where I was able to do the dynamics to actually have some. Actually, I can show you that at the end. So let me close this. Let me see if I can open the other one, because that will give you the hopefully, if this works. I don't know if this is working anymore. Oh, you know why? Because I'm on one. What? There we go. Let me bring this up. Actually, I'm going to play it. And you can see this makes a fire. And this is what Houdini's really good at. They have, if you can see up here, these shelf elements, and they let you do things quickly. And they are also an example of how you could study how they did things and then learn. Like, I'm going to go into Bonfire here, and you can see it's kind of small. Let's see if I can make it bigger. Well, let's see if this will, no, that, trying to remember how you, so you can see they use a whole bunch of different nodes um, to get this. Oh, I know what it is. I remember now. It is, I think this will, hopefully, nope, that was another program. That's the next, no, that's the next program I'm going to show you. I don't have a scroll wheel, which is how I would normally make this bigger, but this is provided for you, and you can then kind of borrow it and modify it to your liking. So this is Houdini. And again, this is really strong on any of the dynamics, but you saw we can also do modeling in there. And so this is, and they've also gotten to some very interesting technology in terms of creating scenes. They have their own renderer, although you can use some of the same render engines that you use with Cinema. Render engine is what actually takes what you see here on the screen and makes it visible, or makes it into a picture or a series of pictures if it's animated. So anyway, this is Houdini. And no, I don't want to. And I am going to bring up the third program, which is Nuke. Now, Nuke's job is to take a whole bunch of stuff that pieces and parts, and bring them together, which is called compositing. And you can do some other things which if you're familiar with movies like rotoscoping, where you can essentially create a mask. A mask is where you have a white area, the stuff you want to see, and a dark area, which is the stuff being blacked. Okay, here we go. Launch. There, it's launching, and then I can show it to you. So let's show you Nuke. Nuke. Okay, so this here is Nuke, and this is really you can do this in After Effects. In terms of compositing, you can do it in Fusion, Resolve Fusion. I use DaVinci Resolve to edit all the videos, and let me bring something up I can show you. Here's an example. Now I had some struggles with this, and it's still not perfect, because what I'm doing here is I'm mixing what I did in Cinema, which is a ball dropping and Happy New Year, with a video of fireworks. Now the problem comes, there are two issues here. One, this is 30 frames a second, and this, I believe, is 60 frames. But what you do is you bring them together. See, this is a merge node right here. And this is the viewer. That's what you're seeing here. And then this is to write it out. So let's go back to the beginning. You see there's a little distortion. I cropped it out before. I cropped it out when I brought it into Resolve to make it, to try to get rid of most of that distortion at the top and at the bottom. But you can see fairly simple, but it was tricky learning how to trying to get the fireworks to work with it. And I'm still not convinced I have that right. And I may have, and I don't know, I may have, let me close this and then see if I have open recent. Oh yeah. See if this one. So remember the cup? There's the cup. And I brought the cup into Cinema, and I use what they call particles. Particles, is basically shoots these things out, and Houdini is very good at this as well. Probably better than Cinema, but it's very easy to do in Cinema. And you can attach something to the particles. So this is what I got here. As you can see, I got gold and silver. And when I composite it in, if you can look, I have a picture I downloaded, and then this what came out of Cinema, and you can see the back is masked off, so I can just stick that right on top, and it is, when you put them together, it is it's going to what did I do here? So when you put it on top of the picture, it's going to not print it. You know, it's going to just lay on top. It's masked, and you will get your the combination there. So these are the programs that I'm learning and looking at. Now, one other thing, we'll just stop that right here. one other thing I want to show you is this is, whoa, didn't like that. I can't, there we go. This is a Watcom tablet. Now, Watcom is considered the brand, but there are others. Okay, so you can see these tools, and we may look at more. Again, I want to talk a little bit about the tablet that I showed you, this right here. I also have an X Pen tablet, which is I've had no problems with it. The issue with it, why I cannot use it once I move my stuff downstairs. I'm doing this on a laptop. I have on order, excuse me, a computer that'll be much more appropriate for this stuff. Although this served me well during the cinema class. The monitors I have two of them that are 4K, and the X Pen I think is 2K, and that poses a problem because the 4K, what you do with these tablets that actually you can actually draw on the picture, that look like a screen, as opposed to just something you draw on, or a blank sheet, if you will. You generally, what you do is you duplicate you can either duplicate one of your monitors, or you can move it, make it like a separate monitor. Well, if you're using one of these big programs, you probably want to do the work on your big, your best monitor, and then duplicate it on the pad. Well, if your best monitor is 4K and the tablet's 2K, that's not going to work. So my advice is, if you don't want to spend to get a really high-end one with the screen, get the Wacom, the type. This is an older version. They have a newer version that is just with writing surface that looks kind of like this, like a mouse pad. That's going to work fine because you're looking at your monitor. That's a lot less money. Now, some artists, particularly, people who do drawing and painting, they like the really big Wacoms that are essentially computers. But if you're doing this stuff, and in fact, the instructor for the Nuke class essentially uses something very similar to what I have. His is a newer version. It's a little nicer, could be bigger. I like the small size, given the amount of space on my desk. The small size is probably, I'll either move this downstairs or maybe spring for the newer small size, which is the least expensive. But you can get a bigger one if you want more real estate. That's going to be up to you. So, but it's really good if you're doing this kind of stuff because you can draw. You can get very precise if you need to. It takes a little getting used to, and one of the annoying things is if you come from using a regular mouse like this was the mouse I had been using. I brought the tablet out because this was acting up on me here. The thing that gets annoying is it doesn't have a third button. Does not have that scroll button, so that can get kind of annoying. But anyway, hopefully this has been interesting. I just giving you a little taste of what these tools can do, and hopefully you'll enjoy the other videos like this that I'm going to bring to you over the year. Again, my plan is, I think Monday I'm going to do a blockchain oriented one, and I'm thinking Thursday, this is the current plan, Thursday do more of a CGI one. This way I'm serving, I am progressing in the work we're doing with the blockchain. We're very excited about, taking the Metaplex and getting it to something that we can actually deploy, making it unique. And the other thing that I'm planning in terms of the blockchain stuff that's related to this is once my new machine comes, I'm hoping that I can get accepted. I can get permission to put my old machine on the Renda network. First of all, it'd be great to demonstrate to you all, but also um, it's also something that can make you a little bit of money. Probably not a huge amount unless you have a bunch of machines and you're really focused on it. But I know there's a lot of interest among about anything that could be monetized. So we'll see if we can monetize my old machine. Don't know. I'm not even gonna fill out their little form until I have my other stuff up and running and in good state. But anyway, hopefully this has been interesting. And I will speak to you next time. Thank you for watching and take care.